Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen roadmap update. We've got some additional info on Star Citizen now for 3.17.2, as well as plans for feature work going on into Q1 2023 now. Also, I've got quite a bad cold at the moment, so that may have affected my voice. Apologies if I cough or sound weird. Let's start with the Alpha 3.17.2 updates. Cloud Imperium said, after talking at length with the team in Montreal, we've realised it makes much more sense to split the Derelict Reclaimer Points of Interest card into two distinct cards, due to the development work being significantly different for each. So, what does this mean? Well, we now have two cards, Derelict Reclaimer Space Missions, a variety of handcrafted, narratively unique missions that have been created for the new Reclaimer rec sites in space. So we're getting this in 3.17.2. The fact that it's narratively unique missions suggests to me it's an interesting mission chain like the Arlington Gang missions, which has you going up against harder and harder basic enemies in combat missions until you fight an Idris at the end. At least that's what it sounds like to me. We also have Derelict Reclaimer Settlement Points of Interest. So settlement points of interest in the Stanton system built out of a Reclaimer Derelict. A proof of concept point of interest that sets the stage for additional settlements to come. This location will be populated with traditional missions and loot. So it sounds like we're not just getting a special mission chain or anything with the Reclaimers. They're also going to be used for general points of interest for other sets of missions and sort of recoveries of cargo and items and take out these guys. We do know that Cloud Imperium are also working on some other wrecks like the Mercury Star Runner that will be released relatively soon too. And this is all very exciting because they also are having this set of features in 3.17.2 with NPCs that are able to traverse around the Reclaimers more readily with that new planetary nav mesh. There were also various additions to the Progress Tracker. So the Progress Tracker, there's sort of features that Cloud Imperium are working on there, but we don't know what patch they're actually going to be attached to yet. It just shows that what they're working on, when it's sort of targeted at and when it's sort of targeted to end, and what teams are working on it. So they are expanding out the Progress Tracker to cover Q1 2023 for upstream teams. Some teams have been added here. We will see more of the downstream teams and more features added here in the future, and once they know what the downstream teams are doing, which are typically 3 to 6 months before. So we've got some new features. The new player experience. Oh, this has been needed for so long. An initiative for improving the initial first 30 minutes of gameplay experience, which will help players understand the context of the world and introduce them to some of Star Citizen's basic features. This will include updates to landing zones, spaceports, hubs, shops, and more. So the EU landing zone team is working on that, and it's supposed to be completed for Q4 2022, sort of mid-November time. Now, what I want beyond that, is starter missions for all of the sort of mission sets. So it takes you from that new player experience into each of the sort of sets of missions, bounty hunting missions, cargo missions, and mining and all that sort of stuff. Just individually, it just goes, bam, you can do this, and this. Choose one sort of thing. And let's get you some starter missions with that. Let's tell you what happens with that. Didn't like that? Well, then try some FPS assault missions or try some mining or whatever. Also, one day it would be great to see how sort of the context of how your sort of preferred mission set or how these missions affect other missions. So if you're doing mining, well, explain refining and how sort of products are priced and what other players make use of your mined goods. Anyway, I digress. Another feature, player-machine physical interaction. Initial implementation of animations that show the player interacting with ship controls and items, including pushing buttons, flicking switches, and interacting with other areas of the cockpit. Also includes other machines and items, including locker doors. So this is being done by the active feature team, and it's planned to be completed by Q4 2022, end of December. Really cool stuff. I want to have more clicky buttons. I like the idea of having every button switch on a ship be interactable in some way or actually have some sort of function and use. And obviously when I use hotkeys on my keyboard or whatever, I want to flick switches in my cockpit. That makes sense. Freight elevators. Implementation of systems and content for players to physically load and unload cargo to and from their ships by conveying cargo to and from hangars, landing pads, garages, and docking collars. The USPU gameplay feature team is working on this for completion at the end of February, Q1 2023. It makes sense as they sort of expand out the cargo systems. Cargo Refactor coming in 3.18. They're going to want to keep on adding more and more to this and refining the process as the game gets more built out. Aegis Retaliator base ship. So this just refers to the base variant rather than it being like a base building ship or anything like that. So the Retaliator is supposed to be relatively modular. It's got the torpedo version as the sort of standard version we have in game at the moment. The base would be without any modules, and eventually you're going to be able to put different modules in there, sort of like a living area or a dropship module or a cargo module. Now, or even some of those torpedo modules if you want, and you can sort of mix and match based on the where you're putting that module. Now, this will probably have those areas blocked off where the torpedoes were, but they could just be empty rooms, and maybe you can use them for cargo, though the cargo rooms are supposed to be a different variant. Well, not variant, different modules. Let's be clear on that. For me, it's a little bit exciting because it sort of suggests to me that when they're looking at this, which is Q1 2023, sort of mid-March is when they want to get this completed, they might actually be looking at modularity for the ship at the same time. Sort of makes sense, because why else would you want to get that base one out? But that's just my assumption there. The Anvil Crucible. So they're building out, balancing and implementing some bits of the Anvil repair platform ship. Now, although the feature here says getting it game ready, I do not believe that is the case. So the EU vehicle content team are working on it, and they're only working on it for about a month, with its sprint wrapping up in mid-March 2023. So it's not a huge amount of work that's going on to that. So I wouldn't expect it to be completed by then. I'm expecting it to get a lot more work, but it's a good sign that it's going to get more work in 2023. Now, a big feature, Salvage vehicle munching. So implementing the ability to transform large chunks of metal salvaged from ships into a refinable material. This will use the grinder systems aboard salvage ships like the Vulture and the Reclaimer. This sounds a lot like more Salvage, MAW Salvage, where the Reclaimer is supposed to sort of pull big chunks of metal into its big crushy face using tractor beams. But I also forgot that the Vulture was more than just a hull stripping ship as well. It is supposed to be a salvage ship and be able to do a variety of smaller scale salvaging when compared to the Reclaimer, which is a bit of a beast. Work for this is being done by the EU-PU gameplay feature team, and it's scheduled to be done Q1 2023, end of March. Again, makes sense because they're going to want to expand out Salvage after 3.18, and I'm expecting it to get a very similar treatment to what mining did, where they keep on adding and refining the process and expanding out that gameplay. Something did get moved off the progress tracker though, and that is room depressurization. That will reappear once they know they've got some time to be able to work on it. It'll get added back into that progress tracker. I think Salvage vehicle munching, the new player experience, and the more clicky buttons and sort of switches and stuff are probably the stuff that I'm most excited about there. It looks like 2023 should be a pretty full year for gameplay. At least that's what I think. And 3.17.2, that's really expanding out with a load of minor features. But what do you think? Are you excited for vehicle munching? What about Alpha 3.17.2? As I said, it's starting to fill out with a load of these sort of minor features or expanded features now from what we originally thought. Do you think we're going to see any more added? Are you looking forward to Alien Week soon? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Hello, it's me, the Queen. It's my Platinum Jubilee this year, and safety and security are paramount. Lots of people ask me why we need a Queen and NordVPN. I defend the world with my sceptre and crown, preventing those who do it harm from carrying out their evil deeds. Channeling the power of nordvpn.com/BoredGamer and my divine right, I can overcome any obstacle, and so can you, by using the links below to get great deals and better internet accessibility, security, and encryption acidity. I don't know what that word was that I was trying to say, but I am the Queen! I will never be defeated, just like nordvpn.com/BoredGamer.
That wasn't the Queen at all. It was me. It was BoredGamer. I've got to say this at the end, actually, now, just in case someone says I'm impersonating the Queen. Tried to get her, but she was too busy. She says got like a busy weekend or something.
Every month we have a ship giveaway. For June, we're giving away the newly released RSI Scorpius Heavy Fighter. This is a 2-seater X-Wing styled ship with a powerful loadout and a turret that can move from the top to the bottom of the ship, giving it a much better range of firing arcs. To be in for a chance of winning that, comment on any of my videos made during this month. More details in the description below. Please also consider supporting the channel by becoming a member with the join button under my videos, or becoming a Patreon, or even donating with a thanks button or donations in the descriptions below.
Star Citizen is getting more and more flesh on its bones, and there's always news coming out, and we love to cover that, and we're only able to do that because of all of you watching and all the amazing people that go the extra mile, whether it's commenting, sharing our videos, chucking money at us or whatever. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great June. Please take care, and I'll see you in the verse.